Hi everyone, welcome from Law with Dunk, the Law Guy, and today is day 43 of the Case Today series journey, covering cases across criminal law, tort law, contract law, and the English legal system. If you ever have a case you want me to cover, feel free to pop it in the comments section, and I'll get round to it if I can. Before today's recording, though, I want to put some thank yous out there. To Ben and Chloe, I want to say thank you for these. It really does mean a lot. This was from Ben. We've bonded over the TV show Breaking Bad, so it was really sweet of him. I got a glass mug with Better Call Dunk on it, with a hot chocolate sachet as well, which I'll look forward to drinking. And this was from Chloe. It was really sweet of her. It was it's got the Law Guide brand with the song Final Countdown reading below on a wooden stand. It's really sweet, and I'll treasure these as trophies. Just as lovely reminders of the bond that I've been able to form with the students that I've taught this past 2 years. And I also wanted to say thank you to Ollie and Daniela for the Achilles necklace that I received them a few months back as well. And also I just want to say thank you for all the lovely messages and cards and just nice conversations that I've had with departing students. I love you all, I'll miss you all, and I'll wish you all the best with whatever is next. But it's not the end, it's not a goodbye. If you ever need anything, you know where I am. And I just want to say another thank you to all my Year 2 law students for all your hard work this past 2 years, and for never making it feel like work. So thank you. Seriously, it's never felt like a job where I was clocking in and out. And there's that famous saying of find a job you enjoy doing, or I should say love in this case, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And that applies to me because of all of you. So thank you. And I will get round to counting up the house points and letting you know which Harry Potter house won the House Cup. Okay, now, with today's recording, I'd like to cover the case of R.V. Mitchell, 1983, and discuss how it illustrates what I call the mens rea mechanism, not test, but mechanism of transferred malice. You'll remember that usually for a defendant to be guilty of a criminal offence, the defendant must possess both an actus reus, i.e. the guilty act, and a mens rea, i.e. the guilty mind, at the same time. However, transferred malice is a principle in criminal law that relates to mens rea that provides that the defendant will still be held to be guilty of a criminal offence where their malice or mens rea is towards an intended victim or primary victim, but the actus reus is performed upon someone else, i.e. the actual victim or secondary victim. To find the defendant guilty of having both the actus reus and mens rea at the same time upon the actual victim, all the courts do is simply transfer the mens rea over from the intended victim to the actual victim. Thus, the criminal liability equation is intact and the defendant can be found guilty. Clearly, this covers situations where a defendant intends to kill a person by firing a gun at the intended victim, but ends up killing an innocent bystander instead. Or where the defendant intends to kill someone but ends up killing another person, and there is a case of, say, mistaken identity. In both these situations, the mens rea transfers from the intended victim to the actual victim and thus is able to accompany the actus reus to establish the criminal liability equation and find the defendant guilty of a result that was unintended. In R.V. Mitchell 1983, the defendant was challenged by a 72-year-old man after pushing his way into a post office queue. The defendant responded by punching the 72-year-old man. The 72-year-old man fell backwards into an 89-year-old woman who was knocked over and suffered an injury and eventually died a few days later. The defendant was found guilty of unlawful act manslaughter. The 72-year-old man hadn't committed a positive voluntary act when falling into the 89-year-old woman, and so he wasn't guilty of any criminal offence. Here you can see that the defendant's mens rea for battery, i.e. the intent to apply unlawful force, transferred from the intended victim, i.e. the 72-year-old man, to the actual victim, i.e. the 89-year-old lady, who had also sadly suffered the actus reus of death, to find the defendant guilty of unlawful act manslaughter. You can see that this principle enables a defendant to be found guilty of harm or even death caused to bystanders who were not intended victims. And that's it for today. Thank you from Law with Dunk, the Law Guy, and I'll see you Wednesday.